Hmm. Thursday can't come here soon enough. Oh wait, it is Thursday. It's 8:05, so that means I get to go live. Guys, what is up? What's going on? This is a Club of the Man 1993 coming at you for, as always, my weekly special live stream, a top 10 special as always for WWE. Well, 90% of the time usually, as it should be. So this week we're going to be doing another special live stream. It's going to be kind of half a topic I was given because I decided, because usually most of the time I do best and worst. And I do best and worst. I don't want it to be like, a full negative live stream, but I also want to have some positive as well. But so with this category, I was suggested by my good friends Lauren Hutton and Dakota Byers, also a couple other people as well probably recommended this category as well. So I thought about this one first. So I'm like, I kind of did a video on it earlier in the year because I was doing a video response to the Lex Man's videos on his top 5 wrestlers who should turn heel and top 5 who should turn face. But I thought about it again, like, you know what? It's later in the year. Either way, it's not really like, it's like, a Ram video or, or whatnot. So how about I split up? So this week I'm going to do my top 10 WWE superstars who need to turn heel sometime in the second half of 2018. And next week I'll do the top 10 superstars in WWE needs to turn face in the second half of 2018, in my opinion, my prediction as well. Not all these could happen. I mean, not all of them I'm like saying, yeah, go for it. But to me, it's like, wouldn't be bad of a way of an experiment to try, pretty much. Although I know, of course, right now, I gotta say, WWE needs more so established baby faces and heels, because to me, right now, it feels like this dynamics. Like, I feel like there's like a lot more heels than baby faces right now. And there's the guys like Rusev. We cannot tell at all, in my opinion, at least. I mean, some of you do think Rusev and Lana are baby faces, but sometimes he still shows like signs of being a heel. So the dynamics are still all off on some people as well. So I feel like especially also with WWE, how apparently they show their true colors and not knowing how to write a solid baby face, well, on the main roster at least. If you need a great baby face on the on NXT, look at Johnny Gargano, for instance, or Dakota Kai and a few others. But anyways, but yes, so even though I'm saying all this, I'll tell you, this means I want all 10 of the chart. I was just like, okay, if I would think like who could use a heel turn, could be any of these 10. But some though, especially the top 5 that desperately I feel need to turn heel, especially. But hopefully we'll get some more balanced out, face to heel balance, especially in the women's division by the end of the year as well. But let's go to the live chat, see who we got in this live chat. We just have Dakota. He said, so Mike, do you think that Sami Zayn will return as a baby face when he heals from injury? Well, I even mentioned this on Twitter as well, as that I do think after what happened with this past feud with Sami Zayn and Bobby Lashley, I think maybe they may have ran Sami into the ground as a heel, like make him look like like an idiot. I felt with the promos he cut against Squash and whatnot. It may be best as he's gonna be out for a long term. Maybe you do bring him back as a baby face, try to make him the lovable underdog that he was supposed to be, that WWE just screwed up with having him on SmackDown. So I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe they will. I mean, I would say I'd say consider it, definitely. He also says the reason Ziggler won the IC belt is McIntyre is going to turn on him and take the belt. And Ziggler's contract is about to expire, and McIntyre is going to say, "I retired Dolph Ziggler." That could be a good story. I don't mind that at all. That'd be good. Make Drew a monster heel to where the crowd boos the crap out of him because, well, everyone likes Ziggler even as a heel. Exactly. And Dakota's saying that Sasha, Asuka, and Becky should turn heel. Maybe. I'll get to my lists. Dakota says also that Joe's challenges Styles at SummerSlam. I mean, that's what I think they're going to go with also, definitely. I don't see this feud with Styles and Rusev lasting too long. Robbie, in the Barty voice, hi, Sammy! Sammy, it's good to see you again, buddy. He's having surgery on his shoulder and knee, I believe he is. Yeah, that's what Sammy is having surgery on. Poor Sammy. Oh, gosh. What's up, Robbie? Good to have you in the live chat as well, buddy. All right, so, yeah, let's do this. So let's get started with this list here. If anybody else was in the live chat, so far we have Robbie and Dakota in there. So we're going to talk about, I want to share my list of my top 10 WWE superstars who should turn face. Top 10 who should turn heel sometime in the second half of 2018, I feel. So let's get started with this list. My number 10 is Big E. Now this is not what I'm saying. Oh yeah, it desperately needs to happen. It's one of those turns that I'm going to predict to happen if the WWE decides to split up the New Day. Which I've heard rumors that they're going to more so act like single stars now rather than just a tag team for a while. Just give them something fresh to do, which I feel is okay. I feel eventually I don't know if they really do want to split up the New Day, but I feel like Big E could be someone who's showing a lot of potential, especially in the match this past week in the first of the round of the gauntlet match when it was Big E and Daniel Bryan. Big E showed me so much singles potential I saw in him. I enjoyed Big E, back when I first started watching years ago. Big E also was came up as the bodyguard for Dolph Ziggler, and then when he got on his singles run, he went on a good run. I thought as the IC champion. I just always thought he was explosive. He had great He had great wrestling style and whatnot. I thought this guy would be an eventual world champion. They put him with the New Day, of course. And of course, as I said before, I honestly thought, for no offense, the New Day were just a bunch of clowns when they first started. And then they turned him heel, and then they slowly just grew on me. I still say the moment New Day sold me was that promo they cut before the tag team title match, the Fatal 4-Way at SummerSlam 2015. I was there live. I remember they were entertaining. They got the New Day rocks chant going in the crowd. I feel like that's where they really took off from there, and that's what made them popular, I felt. But of course, I keep thinking New Day are great. I think WWE does want to make them have the most tag title runs as team champions. But I do agree that maybe, these guys, especially Big E, I feel could do a lot more as a single star, especially. So, I split them up, have him feud, for the U.S. championship, have him feud with Jeff Hardy for the U.S. title, have him feud for the world title and whatnot. I definitely think he has the potential to definitely do so. I don't think it will happen for sure this year, but that's why he's on the lower part of my list. That's why he's at my number 10. As a Big E could possibly turn heel in the second half of 2018, in my honest opinion. Let's see what we got here. That's hilarious. Turn Big E heel and have Xavier be his manager and his mouthpiece like Heyman with Lesnar. Ooh, not too bad. Xavier Woods, when New Day first turned heel, I thought Xavier Woods was annoying. Well, then again, I didn't really like Xavier Woods that much at all. But then, I did, over time, even see him, wrestle again. And I thought, he improved a lot as a wrestler, and again, on the microphone, especially. I just saw, the promos he cuts also as well. So him being Big E's manager wouldn't be a bad idea, I feel, if Big E would turn heel. And Kofi can remain a workhorse babyface. I do agree. Kofi deserves better, but he could have. I know a lot of people say that he should have had he should have got a little bit of a bigger push than he got. Also, I saw something. Never mind. I saw some message on my phone that I need to read, but it's not necessary at all. But Kofi, a lot of people claim, could have gone farther than he did. People claim that, I guess, Orton crapped on him or something like that in 2009 for something that he did in their feud. So I can't remember what exactly it was. I feel like that's what slowed him down. But, I do think Kofi could be built up, be a world champion someday. Well, it may be too late now, but, they could pull it off again as a workhorse babyface, as Robbie said. Yeah, that's good stuff there. Especially, remember that great heel promo Big E cut on Raw about the kid who wanted his autograph on a breakfast menu? Yeah, that was the promo, I believe, where it kind of more so solidified that New Day was turning heel back in 2015. Mr. E, can you sign my breakfast menu, or whatever he said? But I just remember he imitating that voice there. Speaking of tag title runs, did you know the Hardy Boys are the only tag team to hold the WWF WWE tag titles in 3 decades, the 90s, 2000s, 2010s? I did not know that, but I thought that was awesome. But if you do that, it will, with Xavier, it kills his potential. Why do you think it kills his potential? I mean, I think he'd be a good manager. Definitely. I mean, he's gotten better in the ring, but I don't see him anything too spectacular as a singles competitor. But him being a manager would be a bad idea. Which it was the '90s. Yeah, I get that. But yep, good stuff in the live chat, guys. That's why my number 9 is Big E. Number 8. I mean that was my number 10. I'm sorry. Wow, I already botched. My number 9 now is a women's wrestler. And right now, the problem is, if they're going to turn any more women heel, they got to turn some people face also, I feel, as well. Now, this women's wrestler, again, I've thought about so many times maybe they will pull the trigger and turn her heel. I thought maybe if she won Money in the Bank this past Sunday, she would maybe turn heel, or just even after Money in the Bank, I thought maybe she would turn heel as well. They haven't yet. But I really feel, with the storyline, what's going on, what's happened with this lady's career so far, I feel like, isn't there a time when she's just going to explode and spit fire, as she would say. But yeah, my number 9 is Becky Lynch. I mean, I love Becky Lynch, and we all love Becky Lynch. And Becky Lynch is that woman, in real life. I mean, her character is what she is in real life. She's a nice lady, lovable. You could definitely talk to her, and she does those things the right way. However, the way she's been being booked is, again, one of the more underutilized talents on the active roster, I feel, over the past years as well. Yes, she got a run with the SmackDown Live Women's Championship until, shoved to Alexa Bliss, but I definitely feel, she's been, she could have been, booked a lot better, definitely, the past couple years as well, especially, again, with, her being, away from, most of the other horsewoman, Charlotte's now on the same brand as her, but, I just where do you guys waiting for to give her a push? But with how many times, how many obstacles she's had to overcome and how many times she's failed, you think by now she get frustrated. I mean, granted, I'm a good guy. I do things the right. I feel it's best to do things the right way. Also, I would not be a heel at all on WWE. I mean, my own self, I would be a purebred baby face, probably. But you think about, there's sometimes, I get frustrated. And is there going to be a time where Becky's going to get frustrated also? So I feel like, her turning heel, which, she's mentioned before she wouldn't mind working again. She did work heel on NXT for a while also, and her and Sasha Banks were in alliance also. So, I mean, maybe she will. I'm not sure. Because I mentioned this how many times. There was a rumor apparently in 2016 she was supposed to turn heel. Again, I probably mentioned this several times, but she was supposed to, when Natalya turned heel on her at Money in the Bank in 2016. Apparently, at first, it was supposed to be Becky turning heel. But I forgot. I think it was because, Natalya, since that was around a time where Tyson Kidd suffered that career-ending neck injury, there was a chance that he may have Natalya may have been leaving soon anyway, so they turned her heel instead. But yeah, so that's sort of supposed to happen then. But so I kind of wonder, again, if they turn another women's wrestler, face or so on the SmackDown roster, could they consider turning Becky heel? I feel like at this point, with how many frustrations she's gone through over how many years. Or getting if she ever comes out on top, her still sticking it out, and still trying to overcome all these obstacles, will make her look like a good baby face in the long run also. But can't find outside, sorry. But you would think that eventually the storyline wise, the tension would boil over and Becky would just snap pretty much. That's why I think there is a chance sometime in the second half of 2018 that Becky Lynch could turn heel and spit out straight fire, as I would say. So that's why she is there as well. My number 9. Let's do the live chat. He isn't wrestling. You're like Bobby, Mike. Roman can't beat Roman, right? Straight fire pineapple strawberry. I'll take some Robbie. Is this me, or do you like Mike Kanellis' theme also? He needs a push. I mean, it's a good 80s theme, but they really haven't given him a chance at all since he came back. I wouldn't mind seeing him give a try. Becky has lost basically 2 times as many as she has won. Where's the heel Hassan with all that talk about eating Twisted Bliss blueberry off Alexa Bliss and whatnot? Hassan posted a video yesterday saying that he was quitting WWE and he was unsubscribing to my channel because apparently, he just doesn't want anything to do with WWE, so that's why he's not around. Just to answer your question there, Robbie. Mike, you would be the best babyface. Yeah, if WWE wanted to book me as a babyface, they would probably, ruin me. It would probably ruin. I would probably have a very weak career in WWE. Then again, look at me. Would I really, be a legitimate wrestler? 6'1", 185 pounds, have no meat on these muscles at all. So I probably wouldn't, really be able to hang with the boys, anyways. I'd probably be like a Zack Ryder or something like that. Tyson Kidd, he was a really good wrestler also. Very underrated, I felt also, Tyson Kidd. Yes. Bexplex City, bitch. Hashtag promote Tyson Kidd. He needs to take over for Road Dogg, and Natalya is the worst diva. She's decent at wrestling, but she is the worst actress. I hate to say it, but I mean, I've always liked Natty. I mean, she definitely is a good wrestler, but I do agree, especially when she was champion last year. Her promos were very cringeworthy. Like, no offense. I mean, I love Natty. I was not poster at all again that title run, but you're definitely right with saying, she's not really that great of an actress. Hassan turned on us, Robbie. Yes, he did. He's heel. You'd be Mike the Hugger. Oh, I don't want to be too corny though, much of a hugger. Though he would book Mike as a typical smiling baby face. Have him change his name to Boss, just so Michael Cole can say it's Boss time. Seriously, like, everywhere I go, like, I'll walk past, I'll be walking at the mall or something, I'm gonna walk past and go, "What's up, Boss?" I'm like, "Why Boss?" Everybody calls me Boss. I don't know why. I don't ask for it. But don't be saying it's Boss time. Mike is a lucky man because of Maria. Oh yeah, Mike Kanellis is lucky because of Maria Kanellis. Mike Bennett really in real life, but no. Apparently, they're supposed to be saying that Maria Kanellis wore the pants in the family as supposed to say when they returned the Money in the Bank last year, but they went nowhere other than a feud with Sami Zayn and bashing a glass on top of Sami's head. I'm sorry, above Sami's head, pretty much. But yeah, thank you for stuff in the live chat, guys. But my number 9 is Becky Lynch. Love the trains. Love trains. Since my dad works for the railroad, but I don't need a lot of noise going over my live stream right now. But yeah, Becky Lynch, I feel, could possibly turn heel at some point in 2018 if need be. And I'm sorry I keep looking down. Also, I'm just charging my batteries for my wedding gig on Saturdays, so I'm just switching those around. But yeah, anyways, let's get back to the list here. Number 9 was Becky Lynch. Number 8. Now, this person, could definitely use a heel turn if he's going to stick around for years down the line. I just really feel that this guy as a baby face, can be given a lot of boring material to work with. And Arden, his finisher out of nowhere, wink, wink, that's, the hint. What else is, that unique about him as a babyface? I mean, when he's given the right material, he can work well to be a babyface, but I see this guy thrive so much as a heel, and I really feel, that character can definitely help out some talents on SmackDown Live as well in some ways. Of course, that's talking about Randy Orton. Randy Orton, I definitely think he's one of the greatest of all time. Great talent. I mean, Lauren was here. He's Lauren's favorite of all time as well. And you know what? When he's given the right material to work with, he can be a great babyface. However, he thrives off mostly being a heel, especially with how he was in 2009. Like, that was probably Orton's best year, I'd say, 2009, with the character he was in, going after, the McMahon family, blaming his IED, intermediate explosive disorder, or whatever he called it. Despite the fact that the WrestleMania match was meh at WrestleMania 25, that was still a great feud between Orton and the McMahons. And I feel like, it's wrong with feuds like Jinder Mahal, or who else? I mean, the feud with Rusev, that could have been a little bit better, but they at least had a good match at Hell in a Cell. Him and Owens, I know, had a good match together, but as a babyface, it's just like, I don't know, the guy like feels like he just has a lot more to him as a heel. I mean, right now it could be tough with the SmackDown roster because most of the guys who could definitely be put over, I feel, are heels. He could feud with Samoa Joe, I'd say could be a possibility. Or let's see here, who else? Let's pull up the roster. Who else could Randy Orton feud with. I can really see, but I just personally still feel the guy would thrive better as a heel. I feel, in my opinion. So let's pull up the SmackDown roster. Let's see here. Let's see here. AJ Styles, yeah, he can feud with him as a heel. I mean, if Big E was a babyface, maybe Orton and Big E, because remember they had a couple matches when Big E was Intercontinental Champion. Cesaro and Orton, well, Cesaro's a heel right now, but he's starting to think to be a babyface. Do you want to try Bryan and Orton again? I'm for it. Orton and Hardy. Well, Orton as the heel this time. Going back to those days. I mean, Orton could feud with The Miz. I'm not sure how that will go. Well, as a babyface. Joe, I mean, maybe right now with the SmackDown talent, maybe I'm not sure. Again, with the talent right now, I honestly feel that maybe Orton would be more suited as a tweener. I feel like that's what they've gone with him for most of this year, because he feuded with Bobby Roode, and then he feuded with Jeff Hardy also, so he got till SummerSlam with his with the knee injury. But I just feel like Randy Orton's character thrives a lot better as a heel, so that's why he may be needed as in that babyface role right now. But I feel like at some point he should go on at least one more heel run before he retires, which I feel like again he probably has a good something he thinks he has like 5 years left or something like that. So that's why I definitely would say Randy Orton needs to turn heel. I mean, if you go over to Raw, maybe especially he would probably need to turn heel. But on SmackDown, I mean, again, he could still be a tweener of some sort. But I feel like eventually Randy Orton should have a run as a heel again. Again, I just feel like he thrives in that role as just like a Daredevil type heel. Let's see here. The train is getting louder. Yeah, this is right down the street from me. I just have my windows open. The moment of Maria smashing Sammy over the head with a vase was brought to you by the power of love. Is it me, Mike, or is AJ Styles a better face than a heel? I mean, Styles definitely, I feel is a great baby face. Again, as I keep saying, I felt Styles needed to go heel when he did, just to help him improve his mic skills and like the fire up in him. I feel like that's the reason why he turned heel, but it worked for him. Yes, Blandy Borton, as Robbie calls him. Again, when Randy Orton has good material work with, he's awesome. But if he's not, then he's, no offense, boring. I hope Lauren doesn't hear that and kill me for saying that. But I then said, let Jeff beat Nakamura at SummerSlam and have Orton come back with him and the RKO out of nowhere. But WWE won't do that. And Tom Phillips is botching a lot now. I mean, somewhat a little bit, but I definitely think Tom Phillips is definitely better than Coach or Cole and whatnot. He's still one of my favorites. I'd say Tom Phillips. Orton confused with Andrade also. The bar isn't splitting up, but they are turning face. Wouldn't mind seeing that. Well, especially for Cesaro. I think Cesaro more needs to be a face than a heel. Miz will dethrone Styles. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing that. Orton says he is better as a heel. I definitely agree with him. I feel he is better as a heel. I guess he just doesn't really like being a baby face, really, from what I've heard. But whatever works for him, all respect to him. But yeah. Anyways, that was my number 8, though. Randy Orton. On my top 10 superstars who should turn heel in the second half of 2018. So number 8 is Randy Orton. Number 7 is another guy who likes to smile a lot, but it's not Bobby Lashley. But it is a guy, and I'm trying to sound as clean as possible. I'm not saying this because of who he is, but I think if this guy was booked right, he could easily be another Bobby Lashley with his style of wrestling and whatnot. My number 7 is Apollo Crews. I was a huge fan of Apollo Crews when he came to NXT. I thought this guy had a lot of potential. And I personally thought that he eventually was going to be an NXT champion. I mean, I don't know if, since, like Nakamura came along or Aries or a few others that maybe got in his way. And that's why they just, brought him up to the main roster a lot sooner. He was only in NXT for 9 months. He debuted at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 1. And then I think he had a match at TakeOver Respect with Tyler Breeze. And then at TakeOver London, he feuded with Baron Corbin. And then TakeOver Dallas, I don't think he had a match. No, I think he almost had a match with Elias. Was when he was Elias Sampson. They brought him to the main roster, and all he did was fight Sheamus, and then lose to Miz in the Intercontinental Championship. And where's he been ever since? Went to Raw, and he joined Titus Worldwide, and it looked like they were going to make Titus Worldwide a heel tag team. Which, no offense, Titus O'Neil is awful as a heel. I mean, I think he's better as a babyface, honestly. I just don't think he's suited really well to be a heel. But I thought, what if, they turned Apollo Crews heel and they, explored him a little bit on, the dark side? Because, I mean, I think one thing people said that the problem with Apollo is he smiles a lot. See? He smiles. Just like another guy goes, Sammy, it's good to see you again, buddy. Well, I mean, for what we got last week, it may look like, that was just because of, they could work with so much. But then again, he could at least cut a good promo for crying out loud. But yeah, I feel like Apollo Crews is a very overlooked talent that, WWE is just not even tried anything with him at all since coming to the main roster. I really thought he was going to thrive on being on SmackDown. They didn't really book him well at all on SmackDown at all. I mean, he just fought Kurt Hawkins several times and whatnot. Then he went over to Raw. The Titus Worldwide got a couple title shots against the Bar earlier this year, but it's just treated like we need someone else to get a title shot. Oh, let's throw this team in and actually trade him seriously for 3 weeks, and then we'll put him back on a shelf. That's all they've pretty much done. But yeah, Apollo Crews, I definitely think should be considered in being a heel as well. Let's see here. Edge was one of those guys who was just as good as a heel as he was a babyface. Pretty much, he was. And as Robbie would say, Crews can't lose. What happened to Crews? Again, I just don't know. They just haven't even tried. That's Crews. Crews. Apollo Crews, not Apollo Creed. I remember that promo. Oh, it's not Apollo Crews. They took Crews out of his name. They put it back. Like at first they took it away, but they did put it back in his name. Crews smiles more than Bobby. That is true. He does. Hey, Mike, wear a purple shirt next time you say Sammy and have him go looking in the Barney pack. I'll look and see if I even have a purple shirt. I mean, well, actually, I should because I went to a high school that their colors were purple and gold. So I pretty much should. Actually, hold on. Let me check really fast. I know we're live, but I'm going to check what I mean, I should still have it down here. Do I have a purple shirt here at all? I may have packed it away. Nope, it's not down here. I'll have to bring it out whenever or I mean my cap and gown was in the back there also. But whenever I bring out my summer clothes, which should be soon, I'll definitely throw a purple shirt on there and just wear it just for heck sake and just go, Sammy. I can't insult Barney too much. Barney was my homie when I was 3. But yeah, I miss Crews. He started off good at first and then went downhill. Again, he should, in my opinion, he should have had a run with the NXT Championship. I do kind of see, they had Shinsuke come in. Joe needed his title run. He was probably like on a higher level, and several others as well. So maybe that's why they brought him up so soon. I'm not sure because he probably had an over from down. Or maybe again, I guess I mentioned before, like a guy Triple H in an interview recently mentioned there's been some guys who have been in NXT that he felt that were more suited for the main roster than what he did in NXT. And he mentioned that one person he thought was Elias. So maybe he thought the same way about Apollo. I don't know. But yeah, unfortunately, it has not worked out well for Apollo at all on the main roster. It's been very disappointing. At least Bobby is looking better. Yeah, he definitely is. Best way to turn Apollo heel is to have him be a cocky, jock-like heel who brags about his superior athletic abilities and maybe even had Titus endorse him similar to Xavier Woods and Big E. That could be possible. But Crews was better than Shinsuke on the independent scenes. I mean, Apollo's catchphrase on the indie circuit was too easy. I mean, they could go with that catchphrase also. Of course, copyright reasons might bring it out or whatever. Yeah, I was curious also because you remember also in the mixed match challenge, Nia Jax and Apollo Crews lost their first round match, and afterwards, Nia cut some promo about why she wouldn't join Titus Worldwide, and Apollo kind of helped her trip Titus. I didn't quite get what was even the point of that if just having this Nia just to say I'm not going to join and just walk out. But why did you have to have Apollo kind of take part in poking fun at Titus? I didn't get that at all either. What was his name on the Indies again? Yuha Nation. Nice. It was Comacy. Maybe it's just meant to say comedy, but yeah, I don't know. I thought that was just why did we do that? It was going to lead to nothing. But that's what WWE does. They do things they think we're not going to remember it, but too bad we did. But that's why he's my number 7, Apollo Crews. Speaking of Nia Jax, she's actually my number 6 on this list. Nia Jax. Now, here's the thing. Since Nia Jax has turned babyface, I'll say that her wrestling matches have gotten better, in my opinion. So as a heel, her wrestling on the main roster, to me, just felt like, you see, Nia Jax, we all know, obviously, she's a big woman. She's 6 feet tall. She's 272 pounds. She easily crush anybody. She can squash me, break me in half, do anything possible. But I feel like they just always had her looking like she just took everybody for granted and just half-assed her matches. The most notable thing I can remember her doing was when she pretty much drove Alicia Fox. I'm sorry, remember this, guys? Alicia Fox through a barricade and whatnot. And I'm just like, okay, she's looking dominating. But then they kind of just make it look like she takes it easy on everybody. I mean, yes, obviously, people are going to be beating her. She can't look, too strong or whatnot. But, why not make her look strong at all, I feel? Because as a babyface, her wrestling's been better, but I feel like her promos have just really been cringeworthy, especially those bullying promos, even though right after, 2 weeks after that, she's bullying a jobber on Raw just to intimidate Ronda Rousey and whatnot. Didn't make any sense at all. So I feel like, maybe they should, if they want to keep this wrestling, maybe put Nia back as a heel again and, have her just go all out and just destroy people, become a legitimate, irresistible force as, she's titled and just be dominating and just tough to beat, not just someone who seems like, she can, just take it easy and just half-ass herself as always. So that's why I think Nia Jax is more suited to be a heel than a babyface. That's why she's my number 6 on this list. What's up, Tommy T? Hey, Mike, Enzo was supposed to turn on Nia and reveal he was hooking up with Alexa Bliss. Yeah, I saw that. I mean, I think, that could have been somewhat interesting maybe in some ways, I feel. Of course, with the mixed match challenge going on, Braun Strowman, they were teasing a romantic interest with Strowman and Enzo. Braun Strowman could come out of nowhere and just squashed Enzo, and Enzo would have got these. Enzo was going to get these hands. Of course, it's Buddy Murphy also, who's married to Alexa Bliss in real life, or they're engaged, either one. So, yeah, it would have been awkward, but that's the direction I'm supposed to be going to. Even though it did make sense, well, I should say it does make sense because Nia went after Enzo first, and then Enzo could see an opportunity to get close to Alexa or whatnot. But yeah, I definitely did read about that today. Nia is not like most girls exactly, and Nia Jax was related to The Rock. I knew that. I heard that Dar is turning face, and WWE is planning to have a romantic angle with Strowman and Bliss. Could work. We'll see. Where is Noam Dar exactly? He was injured for a while. He was injured for a while, definitely. He is still signed WWE. Yeah, he's been injured for a while. I think Dar did more honestly in his brief run as a face and as his long heel run. Oh, definitely. I hated it as a heel. I had Noam Dar had white heat all because of that feud with Dar, Fox, and Cedric Alexander. I'm not going to get into that feud again as we talked about it in our year in review video, Robbie. I'm not going to talk about it again. Hey, Mike, who is your favorite WWF Attitude Era superstar? If I could pick one who was my favorite, who could it be? I mean, I didn't really watch during the Attitude Era, but I've gone back and what I've watched, who I'd say would be my favorite? It's really tough. I mean, there's obviously probably a Stone Cold or The Rock, I'd say. Um, hey, when you step up to Dan guys that you're gonna get these get these Dans. Oh man. Did Dar ever beat Alexander? Not sure. I can't remember. I don't want to remember. Oh yeah. No I am, no I am, no I am. And literally that one day, again, I don't remember why it was. I was in a cranky mood, and then I was watching Raw, and it was one of those segments again where Dar had a pointless match against who knows what, whoever it was, and then he was FaceTime Alicia. You see Alicia's big head up on the Titantron, just saying, "No, him, no, him, don't talk to me about this. I have a match." And it's like, couldn't she for once just listen to him and say, "I have a match. I'll talk to you after." No, no, him, no, him, no, him, no, him. I talk to this. No, him, no, him, no, him. Again, I was in a bad mood already that day. And when that happened, would you just shut the hell up? Well, Jericho there. Yes, I told her to shut the hell up, as Robbie would say. But yeah, Noam Dar again, probably would be better as a babyface when he came back. Not sure when that's going to happen. He's been out for quite a while with the knee injury. But the Pirates are losing again, of course. Sorry, I got distracted there. But yeah. Anyways, that was my number. That was my number 6 was Nia Jax. Robbie also says in the live chat, Mike, have you noticed that 205 Live roster doesn't have on Raw anymore? I do think they should be featured on the pay-per-views. I mean, definitely, yeah. I mean, SummerSlam, they definitely should. I mean, Extreme Rules, I mean, Tommy won this past week. I don't know if they're going to do just Alexander and Tommy at Extreme Rules if they would. Or I still think they should save Tommy and Alexander for SummerSlam and maybe do like a fatal 4-way, I think. Because I'm going to make, excuse me, I'll probably do it either tonight or tomorrow. But I'm going to make my Extreme Rules predicted match card also. I'm still going to put down a fatal 4-way. But again, I kind of hope they save Alexander and Tommy for SummerSlam, I feel. They definitely do. With how much they've improved, they deserve to be on the main show of like a big pay-per-view, definitely. Why aren't they getting the attention? It's like, how they're introducing, the UK NXT, which, might check out. But again, it's just, if this content not getting any spotlight, then why are we still having it? I just don't get it. Let's see here. Yeah, Dar can wrestle, definitely, but I just hated him as a heel. Tommy T says, hey, Mike, I have a question. What do you think of WWE going back to Australia because Shawn Michaels is going to it? I mean, I'll give it a chance and see, how it goes with that pay-per-view in Australia and the Superstars. I hope it's not like another Greatest Royal Rumble, which was just, to me, just a glorified house show. I didn't really feel that special at all. But I'm still not, thrilled with the fact they're going to be doing Triple H's Undertaker there, because it kills the whole purpose of End of an Era, I thought, in my honest opinion. But thank you for the thing there, Tommy T. But yeah, so we're halfway done with my list so far of the top 10 superstars in WWE who should turn heel in the second half of 2018. So far my list: number 10, Big E; number 9, Becky Lynch; number 8, Randy Orton; number 7, Apollo Crews; and number 6 is Nia Jax. Number 5. Now, I first not going to put this guy on this list at all. Because I feel like, we've all talked about how many times he needs to turn heel. He needs to turn heel. But the WWE does not pull that trigger and do it because they want to make him the biggest baby face of all time. They want to just shove him down our throats. Which, again, the guy's a great wrestler. He just gets booked like crap in ways that show that WWE is just trolling with us. But, I still got to say, they just need to try. That's why number 5 is Roman Reigns. Roman's a great wrestler, but I feel like, they could really capitalize on him being a heel, at least help him get the respect of the crowd, even though he'll be booed, which is what he needs to be. I don't want to hear this bull crap of, why can't I just be me and, they cheer me or they boo me, whatnot, because it's not sitting well with the crowd and whatnot. But I've talked about how many times Roman needs to turn heel, so that's all I'm going to say about it. He's my number 5. Roman Reigns is my number 5. Number 4. Now, here's the thing. If I put Roman Reigns on number 5, you better believe these last 4 I really especially feel need to happen. So let's get into those four. These are the ones I feel really need to happen. Like the ones before, I'm like, you could give it a try and see how it works. But these ones, I'm just like, okay, these need to happen. Like if Roman Reigns turning heel needs to happen, then these four need to definitely happen. My number four, someone who I really, really think when he returns, which should be any day now, needs to return as a heel is Jason Jordan. Now, I am hearing the rumors that apparently Jason Jordan is going to return and feud with Baron Corbin since he's now the constable of Monday Night Raw and pretty much just, bossing around Kurt Angle based off of a Stephanie McMahon's orders. And maybe they'll reunite American Alpha because Chad Gable is just jobbing out the Jinder Mahal week by week by week by week by week. Because the thing is, I loved American Alpha NXT. I thought that they didn't book them well on SmackDown. When SmackDown was great, that was one of the very few things they didn't do well was the tag team division, especially American Alpha. They didn't really book them well at all. So I don't think they do deserve, a fair run on a main roster. Of course, they randomly split them up to some all of a sudden called Jason Jordan, Kurt Angle's son. And of course, with the storyline of how flat the announcement felt, because with the build of it was great, but then when we had the announcement of Jordan being revealed to be Kurt Angle's son, it's like, what? Like, why? Pretty much. I feel like, that's what, kind of, led to, more of the seeds being planted for him to being a heel. Because it did show after a while that Jordan thought he could get everything he wants by just going and crying to his father all the time. And of course, it was the way he was written off TV for his neck surgery, which he was supposed to be out for a year. But now apparently he's been due back anytime soon. I'm just like, okay, when's it happening? Come on, guys. When's it happening? When's he coming back? They say he's going to come back, but he's not. I just really feel though, like the way he was written off with the thing of how he ruined the rematch and how he's been he's gotten in the way of several of Rollins tag matches or whatnot. And he's cost him how many matches. The seeds were right there. The seeds were planted. I mean, yes, they were probably going to turn Jason Jordan heel and have him feud with Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, which Rollins and Jordan could put on a good match. I feel like it wouldn't quite be WrestleMania worthy yet. But I definitely think that, storyline wise for continuity, Jason Jordan's return as a heel. He could be upset with how his father and Seth treated him right before he left and whatnot. And I think it's the direction he's heading is based off the crowd response. Again, I mean, he's an awesome wrestler. I feel like it'll help his character build up also and his mic skills as well. So that's why I think Jason Jordan should turn heel when he returns from his neck injury. That's why he's my number 4 on this list. Let's see here. Michaels needs to have one more match at WrestleMania, not a house show. Yeah, if that would be the case, but I heard he still, is sticking there. He's better than Bobby Roode's on my list, but we'll see. Hey, Mike, remember when Jericho wrestled Neville at Beast in the East Japan? WWE should revisit Japan for another live special and do Jericho versus Aleister Black. Take my money now, because you're a genius, Robbie. That's why I like you. Book it, Robbie. Hey, even attempt a fantasy booking video on that. How would you book that, Robbie? I'd be interested to definitely hear that. Yes, Roman. Did you think of Sanity? Hey, Mike, what did you think of Sanity coming to SmackDown? I mean, I thought it was a good move for them. We separate them in off as a pain, definitely. I think so. We sent for a tornado tag match from them and the Usos at Extreme Rules, which as I keep plugging, I will be there attending live. My good friend Dan Geiza. I have heard the reason why authors have not been on Raw because of one of them had problems with the visas. Yeah, I did hear about that also with the visas. Hope the Street Profits win the tag titles. Oh, what was the thing about Undisputed Era losing? They lost the tag titles in that one little house show or heck thing they had was in the UK, the Mustache Mountain. So I don't know if Mustache Mountain Undisputed Era was a rematch at TakeOver Brooklyn 4. Just having they probably did just having a moment for the UK wrestlers. But I don't know if Undisputed Era won the titles back at UK 4, someone that I could see it happening, maybe, possibly. I'm not sure. I don't know why people hate on Jordan. He is so amazing in the ring. I mean, he's amazing in the ring. Again, it's not the talent, it's the fact of the position he was thrown in, pretty much. They think it's just lazy and it's stupid. They're more booing W Creative and not Jordan. I mean, again, I do agree. Jordan had great matches against John Cena and Roman Reigns and a few other people, but I do think he should be a heel when he comes back, as I said before. Sammy should have debuted a month ago. They probably should. Yeah, they took a while to definitely debut. I don't know why they waited so long. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Jason Jordan. Let's continue on. Number 3, Dakota. You even said this name before. You're right. Good minds think alike, Dakota. My number 3 on the list is Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode to me is just so bland as a babyface. All he does is come out and say, "No, everything's going to be glorious and whatnot," and that's all he says. And he doesn't win any matches. His feud with Ziggler wasn't really that great. Last October, his United States title reign, no offense, very forgettable. The feud with him and Orton should have been just about 2 of them, but instead they had Jinder Mahal, lurking around just to set up for Jinder Mahal to win a U.S. title off in WrestleMania. I had no words when Jinder won that U.S. title at Mania. That was just didn't need to happen at all. I mean, they eventually just put on Hardy, so that was cool. But still, why did we have to do that? Why? I don't know. At least try to do something different. Something we haven't seen in years, having Orton and Jeff feud. But the match they had at Backlash, I expected better, definitely, from Orton and Jeff at Backlash. But Bobby Roode, my goodness, in NXT, he was pretty much the Miz of NXT. Yes, I'll be real and say Bobby Roode has a really simple wrestling style. He's nothing way too special in the ring, I feel. But like the Miz, his microphone skills is what backs him up the most. And I think he's just barely done anything on the main roster that's allowed me to be to really invest in his character as a babyface. I mean, yes, he comes out saying glorious all the time, but with that, you just made the guy into an entrance. Recently, he has cut some promos that may be hinting at maybe they will turn him heel, but I don't know if they will. But I really think of a lot of people, he desperately needs that heel turn because right now he's just running into the ground. I mean, the only times he's won on Raw is he beat Elias one time by losing like 3 times, and he won his Money in the Bank qualifying match. I mean, really, he's feeling like he's on. I mean, I love Bobby Roode, but he's feeling like on a level same superstar like, Mike Kanellis or Mojo Rawley. Well, again, Mojo Rawley's another guy I think deserves better because, I do agree when he's given the microphone, he can actually cut decent promos. Excuse me. But, man, Bobby Roode, just where he was in NXT to where he's been on the main roster, just disappointing. So I desperately feel that Bobby Roode needs to turn heel at some point in the second half of the year, sooner than later. I mean, heck, he could, they can go back to the storyline of of Roode, taking the coup de grace from Finn Balor off the ropes and injuring his ribs. Whether they have Finn Balor and Bobby Roode as a heel Bobby Roode feud for SummerSlam. Skip both the card. I think it could work. So we'll see what happens. But that's why he's my number 3 on this list is Bobby Roode. Let's see here. I missed the golden days of American Alpha and NXT, especially their matches against the Revival. Take over Dallas. Awesome tag match. That's them. The best team to beat the Undisputed Era are the Street Profits. Don't you agree, Mike? And why did they build up the Mighty only to get squashed? Not sure, really, honestly. I mean, what was supposed to happen with them with the War Raiders, I don't know. They can build up the Revival and the American Alpha once again by having the Revival win the tag titles and then feud with American Alpha at WrestleMania next year. I mean, it would be awesome. Unfortunately, WWE thinks that's too amazing, and they can't do that. As someone said before, they got to dumb that shit down. The thing is that the Revival are underrated. They are underrated. I mean, you saw them in NXT. Yes, they were. They had another simple, wrestling style. The whole thing of no flips, just fists. But also, they were smart and they played great psychology in matches also. And they were really good, outsmarting their opponents. And that's what made them such great tag team champions and, very tough to beat. But now they're just jokes on the main roster. Why? Because they've been injured twice? Seriously, these guys are awesome. I still think that they can be awesome if they're given a chance. Hopefully that might not be running out. That hopefully will not be running out soon, like it did with the Ascension, pretty much. Do you miss Vader? Definitely rest in peace, Vader. I watched a little bit of him. He was all right, but I definitely rest his soul, definitely. But yeah, number 3 is Bobby Roode. Number 2. The last 2, of course, could be coming, sooner than later, definitely. Well, this one is still up in the air because WWE's gone back and forth with this whole freaking storyline between her and her best friend. Now, here's the thing: I'm for either one of them turning heel, involved in this feud between these now two former best friends. But my personal opinion, I still think the one that needs to turn more is Sasha Banks. You just look at Sasha Banks, the heel character she was in NXT, the arrogance and everything. She made Izzy, Bayley's #1 fan, cry. She was able to produce real and intelligent heat, pretty much. I say intelligent because it's not like the heat that a heat that you give someone like Michael Cole from 2011 who we want him to shove and get off the TV. But it's a heel heat that's entertaining, and it builds us to want to see these people get their butts kicked in their matches. And I feel that Sasha Banks needs to really embrace that again because as a babyface, what's there left for her to do? I mean, she could feud with a heel Bayley, yeah, but after that, where else can they go? I mean, this feud with her and Bayley could at least help Bayley get back on track as a babyface because they've really ruined her. And instead of booking her some the fangirl who knows how to take things seriously, instead of making her look like excuse my language, but look like a pussy like they did last year in the kendo stick on a pole match, that right there, that part, the build for Extreme Rules, and the fact also Bayley had a freaking title reign, which Sasha Banks helped her, but as a babyface, Bayley thought it was okay. Why? Literally, if here's the thing though, if it would have eventually led to Bayley, and to Sasha Banks turning on Bayley, which I thought should have happened at WrestleMania 33. They could have had Bayley Sasha Banks turn on Bayley then. Playing the seeds with Sasha, helping her out and saying this wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for me. And then, go from there. They could have done that, but they did. And Sasha has had one more women's title reign since then. It lasted only 2 weeks because she dropped it in her rematch. But I mean, again, I'd be interested in seeing Bayley as a heel, but I think of the both of them, the one I feel needs it the most because there's no other direction to go with her as a babyface is definitely Sasha. At least if you get Bayley built back on track, you could go different directions with her as a babyface. I feel with Sasha, I feel like she's dead in the water as a babyface. Just my personal opinion. That's why she is my number 2 on this list. Turning Sasha heel may be better for both of them, or they can turn Bayley heel by having her finally get extreme and beat Sasha to pulp with a weapon finally. I mean, that could be the case, but the thing is, that could be the case if they turn her heel. I feel also that the crowd would get a positive reaction. If they wanted to, like I mentioned in my live review the other night, if they wanted to, which I'm not going to predict it in my actually can't remember at all if I put a stipulation at all. I'll wait till I bring out my my Extreme Rules predicted match card. I'm going to work on it either tonight or tomorrow. But if Bayley would get extreme, again, it could lead to the heel turn, or it could lead to her getting more popular because she actually showed she's got a backbone, for crying out loud, and she could definitely do that. And what if the feud is Sasha saying that Bayley doesn't know how to get extreme and whatnot. She doesn't have any balls or whatnot. Well, Chelsea doesn't, but she doesn't have any guts, pretty much. And that's what could lead to the Extreme Rules match. And of course, if it flops again, it'll just at the same effect as the kendo stick on a pole match did last year, in my honest opinion. Sasha and Bayley are underutilized, most definitely. They should be the biggest, not just biggest women's wrestlers, but biggest stars on the roster, especially with how great their match to take over Brooklyn won. I was still so glad I got to see that match live. Bayley can wrestle and cut a promo. She definitely can. The WWE books her like a little toddler, pretty much, and who's just weak. That's why she got ruined last year. But yeah, my number 2 is Bayley. Number 1 on this list. Let's see here. I have a couple people in a live chat. Since Dakota likes to try to guess them sometimes. Let's see. Who can you guys guess who my number 1? My number 1 is on this list of the superstars who need to turn heel in 2018. But while we wait, let's go over wrestlers 2 through 10 again. Number 10, Big E. Number 9, Becky Lynch. Number 8, Randy Orton. Number 7, Apollo Crews. Number 6, Nia Jax. Number 5, Roman Reigns, followed by Jason Jordan. Number 4. Number 3 is Bobby Roode. Number 2 is Sasha Banks. Number 1, Um, oh yeah, number 2 is Sasha Banks. Sorry, I said Bailey. My bad. Thanks for correcting me, Dakota. Number 1. Who do you guys think my number 1 is? Dakota, you got it right. My number 1, even though I love this guy, but I feel that he hit the dead end big time with his babyface run last year, especially since he had a long, dragged out feud with The Miz that just felt like it was just there because it was all that was there. I mean, it was good when it was on SmackDown, but when they both came over to Raw, it just didn't feel like it was as effective as it was on SmackDown. My number 1 wrestler who I feel in the second half of 2018, which is a strong possibility will happen. So they're going in this direction for WrestleMania 34. But my number 1 pick for who's to turn heel in the second half of 2018, indeed, as Dakota guessed right, is Dean Ambrose. Again, I love Dean Ambrose. I know some people think his humor can be a little bit corny, but I still enjoy it. I feel like, that's like, I feel like at times I could be a little bit of a Dean Ambrose babyface. Sometimes I know I'll be doing something that I know someone's gonna say how do you would do this? Like sometimes I'll come home from eating a big meal or something like that, and then I'll just be walking in. I'll just grab a big bowl of popcorn. I'll walk out, and I know my mom's gonna be like, "Where are you putting all of that at?" Like Dean Ambrose does like that. Like he knows he's gonna do something, but be so serious about it, but get a reaction. And, he's funny and everything. However, I just feel his options as a babyface have run out. I mean, the last thing I felt he needed to do before turning heel was have another run with the Shield. That felt needed to happen. However, the thing I wanted to be careful is the fact that don't have him just have a Shield breakup 2.0 by having him just pretty much do exactly what Seth Rollins did for the most part. I mean, you can some ways do it, but not have the fact that he broke up the Shield. Now, I know the seeds could be planted that he could blame Rollins when he comes back from his injury for helping him get injured, and have him, maybe attack Rollins, that steel chair shot that Rollins literally offered to let Ambrose do to him back last summer when they were probably building up, him and Rollins getting back together, and not just out of left field Rollins saved Reigns the 1 week on Raw, and then they stare each other down. Next week, they're best buddies again. Like, why couldn't you build a storyline there with, Rollins and Reigns, gaining each other's respect back? Like, Ambrose can literally say he never fully trusted Seth Rollins when they got back together. And look what happened to him. He got hurt and whatnot. I mean, they could go that route in some ways. But, I feel like, to get Dean Ambrose to that next level. I mean, Dean Ambrose had a successful babyface run. But it's time that he goes to being a heel. And you bring out, the Jon Moxley in him from, CZW and whatnot. Everywhere else, bring out more craziness to that hardcore style that's going to be effective putting over babyface. Again, him and Rollins, 3 stages of hell. That's a match that I would love to see. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, 3 stages of hell. That's what the stipulations are going to be. But I feel like you put 3 great stipulations on them, they can have a hell of a match, just like they did at Hell in a Cell. And I'm saying hell way too many times now. Well, not too many times, but I'm saying it quite a lot in a row. But yeah, that is my reason why I feel Dean Ambrose is someone who I think out of everybody needs the heel turn the most. And he's a great wrestler, but his babyface run has it's hit a dead end. There's nothing else he could really do as a babyface right now. So that's why I feel he needs to turn him heel when he returns from his injury. That's why he's my number 1, Dean Ambrose. Let us see what we have in the live chat going here. Cena can turn heel also. If they do, don't know, it feels like it's getting too late about that. Mike, I was going to do a video on why Sasha should have won Money in the Bank simply because it could have led to her heel turn and her career revival as the boss. Go for it, Robbie. Still try it. I definitely think you should. Knowing your luck, they will bring Ambrose back as a heel. I mean, I think they probably will. Again, that was the direction they were heading into. Before he got injured. Sasha does turn heel. I'll probably make my long way of Bailey heel turn fantasy booking video. Do it, definitely. Right? I'd definitely be interested in hearing, how that would work, Robbie. Also, did you see, Mike, where I sent you that Ambrose was spotted at the Performance Center training for his return? I did hear that. I mean, I heard he may be back before SummerSlam, not that definitely after SummerSlam he will be back. But I definitely really wonder what's going to go on now since, Rollins dropped the Intercontinental Championship. I mean, I know, these two can put on a good Intercontinental Championship match, but I do wonder if, I feel like it could be even better, more like a main event feud than more like a mid-card. Even though, again, the Intercontinental Championship is being treated like it's the most prestigious title on Raw rather than, the Universal title. Because who doesn't show up and defend it that often? Oh, that's right. And I'm sorry, but I still did not like how Roman Reigns claimed, the Universal Champion should be there defending the title every single week. Because I know if he was champion, he would not be doing that. But yeah, bring him back as a face. Yeah, they probably will, but I just don't know what they would do as a face. Let's say it together, Mike. One more time for Robbie's case. Sammy, it's good to see you again, buddy. Ambrose could return at Extreme Rules and cost Rollins the #1 contendership in the Fatal 5-Way match. They could do that. Hold on, I'm hearing the windows being shut. I better shut the windows also. Downstairs, I think we're going to fill the AC. Let's shut the windows. Let me just send a quick text. 1 second. So I'm still live, and I heard the windows shut, so I will shut mine. Okay, yeah, but anyways, but yeah, so see, Ambrose could return to Extreme Rules. Also, Mike, I saw people saying that Ziggler is now the world champion of Raw. I mean, he pretty much is, since the Intercontinental Championship is a lot more prestige than it was before. Well, than the Universal title, of course. But sorry, I got bright like that, guys. Yeah, but that's my list. Again, 1 to 10 again. Well, 10 to 1 again for who should be turning heel. Number 10 is Big E. Number 9 is Becky Lynch. Number 8, Randy Orton. Number 7 is Apollo Crews. Number 6, Nia Jax. Number 5, Roman Reigns. Number 4 is Jason Jordan. Number 3 is Bobby Roode. Number 2, Sasha Banks. Number 1, Dean Ambrose. So that is my list for the top 10 superstars who should turn heel by sometime in the second half of 2018. They all don't have to, but the ones that I would say in the top 10 should be up in the rankings. And it's like, who definitely should. So we'll see what happens, guys. And as I said, next week I will do my top 10 superstars who I feel need to turn face sometime in the second half of 2018. So I'll do that then. Rollins hits the curb stomp on one of the opponents and goes for the pin. And Ambrose pulls him out of the ring, and Roman gets the pin because of it. I mean, that could be the case. And Reigns reveals he had Dean help him. Whoa, Dakota. That is freaking genius. Reigns reveals that he had Dean help him turn Ambrose and Reigns heel. That'd be awesome. Mike, if I get some free time, I want to do a special fantasy booking video. Reigns, the Uncommon Universal Champion. I have some great ideas for this one that will make you call me genius. Of course, it definitely will, Robbie, because you always are genius. And that is why I will always get this plug in for my good friend Robbie Kenobi here. Again, Robbie is a bright young man looking to write for WWE, and he knows he can do a lot better than Road Dogg, Vince, Kevin, Don, Michael Hayes, Mark Corona, any of those other stupid idiots who are behind the scenes running lazy creative. Well, who knows, maybe some of them would write better storylines if, Vince McMahon didn't get so lazy. Feel, we're getting the money anyways, guys. So just relax, write some, go home, drink a beer, have fun, do whatever you want. We'll run a lazy show anyways because you know what? Because no matter what we do, we still get our money. But yeah, Vince, definitely, Robbie. But yeah, definitely, if you check out Robbie's channel, again, hopefully you will do some of those fantasy booking videos soon. I know you're busy with your new job, Robbie, but, I definitely look forward to hearing some of your ideas, again, very soon. You have a lot of them. That Roman Reigns one definitely also interests me a lot now. He did one on Cassius Ohno. It was main roster debut, which unfortunately did not happen because he didn't go after Strowman. It could happen again sooner or later. Not who knows. Cassius Ohno. He did one on Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt. A match with Cedric Alexander and Triple H. Game on or game over. A couple other fantasy booking card videos that he would do. So yeah, if you like what you see, please get hashtag please sign Robbie trending on Twitter, and someday we will get WWE to sign my good friend Robbie Kenobi here on YouTube. We all love Robbie because you're a genius, Robbie, and that's why we like you. All right, guys. Uh, you like Mike. You know you like Road Dogg. I mean, I like Road Dogg from New Age Outlaws, but I do not like Road Dogg the writer. He hasn't blocked my ass on Twitter yet, so but then again, I'm not going out of my ways. I'm not trying to give him the attention that he desperately does not deserve. But yeah, guys, Dakota, Robbie, Tommy T also. Thank you guys for joining me in the live chat for this special live stream. Again, it was successful. I liked it. I mean, actually, before we go off the live chat, I'll put the plugs in. But if there's anybody else, I know Dakota said Asuka earlier. If there's anybody else you think should turn heel in the second half of this year, please leave your thoughts down in the comment section below, or even right now in the live chat if you're still there. I'll keep the live chat just for a couple more minutes, and as the Pirates continue to lose 8-3 and 6, my Pirates suck. But yeah, I'll just leave the live chat over a few more minutes. So if you like what you saw in this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to our content on my channel. You may also follow me on Twitter at TheManAirborne93 to follow my tweets during Raw, SmackDown, 205 Live, or NXT, which I don't usually tweet during those shows because those aren't always watched live. And then pay-per-views and whatnot, and just if you want to chat wrestling at all, I try to post I want to try to post some more polls here and there. And actually I did post one yesterday because I got hooked. I don't know why I was listening to their theme music while walking through the mall. Let me find here. I did post a tweet asking whose theme song did you enjoy more? Do you enjoy more Aleister Black's Root of All Evil, Mustafa Ali's Go Hard, or Johnny Gargano's Rebel Heart? Which one do you guys enjoy more? What were the results on that poll? Because I got a good amount of them. Let's see here. What do we have here? 9 votes on that poll. We had Aleister Black win with 56%, and then a tie with Johnny Gargano and Mustafa Ali with 22% each. So I'll try to post maybe some more Twitter polls on Twitter from now on. Also, just try to get some more discussion going, just be able to just socialize with the more wrestling universe as well, besides just here on YouTube. But so yeah, let's see here. So since Rollins turned face, do you have both of them? The other two turn and Rollins attack both of them, and get them powerbombed by Ambrose and Reigns through the announce table. I mean, I guess they could do. And Cole yells, "Oh my God!" and reads it off a paper. Dakota picked Johnny Gargano in that poll, by the way. Also, he said that's awesome. And it shows Roman talking to Dean, telling him he will get the first opportunity. Maybe, who knows? I mean, I think that could be the case also. Or I'd say, here's the thing: based off of the promo. Well, I won't give it. I'll give something away in my predicted match card for Extreme Rules. I'm predicting a 6-pack challenge at Extreme Rules for number 1 contendership. I think the match I'm going to use, Roman Reigns, Bobby Lashley, Seth Rollins. Somehow, even though he lost, I still see Finn Balor being in that match because he's had the momentum going big time lately. I feel Baron Corbin with him getting the win and being the constable. I feel he's going to get in the match. And the 6th opponent I'm going to put in that match is Drew McIntyre, because I think somehow Rollins will not retain the championship this coming Monday on Raw. And just in case, which, I have a bad feeling they're not going to go with Rollins for SummerSlam. I would love to see it be Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar and dethrone him at SummerSlam. I'm going to say if for some reason Dean Ambrose is not able to return by SummerSlam and Rollins needs a match, based on the promo we got this past week, I can see Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre having a match at SummerSlam, I think. That's the long-term idea I'm thinking behind that. So that's why I'm going to put Drew McIntyre into the 6-pack challenge for a number 1 contendership for my predicted match card for Extreme Rules. Well, I will get that done either sometime tonight or definitely tomorrow. I will definitely finish it tomorrow. Anything else going on in the live chat here, guys? W won't turn Roman heel. He's the biggest babyface. No, he is not. Jinder better not get in the match. Jinder, no. No. If Jinder is in that match, then that feud with Roman and Jinder was completely pointless. Because isn't Roman trying to just get Jinder out of his way to get to him being the uncrowned Universal Champion? yeah, gender around it. I heard rumors Roman will lose to Brock at SummerSlam. Roman will cash in and beat Brock. Roman is no longer the top guy. I mean, I just don't want to be a. I mean, here's the thing: if Brock will beat Roman and then Braun cashes in on Brock, then I could forgive it a little bit more because I don't want it to be a complete heist of the century, like rip off again. Like, you know, if Strowman cashes in on the three of them and then Strowman beats Roman and not Brock, I'm be like, why? You know, at this point, you know, have like, you know, Braun to finally capitalize as making a champion because he should be. He should have won last year, No Mercy, but what do we know? Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it there again. Thank you to Robbie, Dakota, and Tommy for joining in with this special live stream. Get my top 10 superstars who should turn heel in the second half of 2018. Again, next week will be the top 10 faces who should turn top 10 superstars who should turn face in the second half of 2018. So, guys, thank you again for tuning in live. I will catch you guys all later on in my next video, again, which will most likely be the Extreme Rules printed match card for my channel. So, guys, thank you for tuning in. I'm checking out here. So, guys, have a great night. Have a great weekend. And of course, you know, if you're on the East Coast, make sure you stay dry. There's going to be a lot of rain coming. So, until then, guys, have a great night. Peace out, everybody.